this for hours and you won't be able to dodge forever. Now watch our next attack. They start using Wind Cutter even more, so fast that dodging should be impossible. But the girl still dodges everything. Suddenly, in the middle of all this, she attacks Nia and cuts off her hand. The knights celebrate and say, "We did it! Look, we cut off your hand. Now see what we do next." But Nia laughs and says, "You two really are babies." She picks up her chopped off hand and eats it. Both the girls freak out, asking, "What are you doing? How can you eat your own hand?" Nia says they don't know anything and that they're the ones who are about to die. Right in front of them, her limb grows back. The girls are terrified, completely confused. Nia says, "All right, let me introduce myself. I'm an ultra-rare guard, level 777. The girls are shocked. That's impossible. No one can have a level that high. Then the red and blue-haired girl steps up and says, "My name is Isit. I'm also an ultra-rare guard, level 777, so now you two are done for." The two knights can't believe what's happening, and honestly, Nia looks way too happy about this. The knights finally realize they're doomed and try to run. Nia says, "Oh, look, they're running." Isit says, "Hold on, let me show you what we can really do." She uses fire magic while Nia shields herself. The knights try to defend with an ice shield, but nothing works. The fire melts through everything. Then Nia grabs the two knights and beats them badly until they're half dead. They beg, "Please forgive us, let us go." Nia says, "Have you ever forgiven a human? Do you know how much you've tortured them? Not once did you show mercy, so now it's your turn." And she literally absorbs them, eats them. Then we switch back to the gun girl fighting Sherfend again. Sherfend says, "Whoever you like, I'll kill him, and then we can be together." The gun warns him, "You really messed up saying that." The girl gets extremely angry because he threatened Light. She beats him so badly that he's almost dead within seconds. The gun stops her and says, "Wait, you can't kill him. Light-sama told us to capture them so we can gather information." She says, "Oh, right, I forgot." So they capture him. Then we return to Light, who says, "Looks like everyone's defeated their opponents. Now all that's left is Sasa. Wonder when she's going to show up." And here we see Sasa and her fiancé. And Sasa is thinking, "Just let me face Light once. I'll kill him right there." She doesn't know what he's been planning this whole time. And Light, on the other side, is also impatiently waiting for Sasa and her fiancé to show up. And then the scene shifts again, and we see another knight standing in front of Jack. Jack steps forward and says, "Oh, so I have to fight you now. All right then, let's see how strong you really are." But before that, he says, "Let me introduce myself properly. My name is Jack, and my level is 777. The knight scoffs and says, "Do you really think I'm going to believe that? No one has a level that high. Are you crazy? Are you trying to make a fool out of me?" Jack just says, "Whatever, forget all that. Come attack me. I'm here to kill you anyway." So the knight says, "Fine, if that's what you want, I'll give you exactly that." He doesn't waste a second and charges straight at Jack with a heavy strike, and he keeps attacking non-stop. But Jack dodges every single attack easily. The knight freaks out and says, "This is impossible. How is he dodging everything? Is he insane or what?" Then he says, "Fine, I'll hit him again, this time with everything I've got." And he really puts all his strength into that attack. But Jack uses just one finger to flick him away and sends him flying far back. Seeing this, the knight says, "No way. This is impossible. There's no way this guy is level 777. He says, "How is this possible? I'm a white knight. Even my level isn't this high. Am I dreaming?" And then he says, "No. No matter what, I can't lose to him." Then we see the knight start transforming himself. He says, "Blood, muscles, everything I have. Give me power so I can defeat him." And he demands more and more power. His body upgrades like crazy. Blood starts dripping from his eyes and a black aura forms around him. And on the other side, Jack also transforms. He says, "All right then, come on, let's see what you've got." Jack's eyes turn completely red, and now both of them are fully transformed. The knight charges at Jack again with non-stop attacks, but nothing affects Jack. He dodges everything calmly, and then with one strike, he breaks the knight's weapon and lands a heavy punch right on his face. The knight gets launched far away and hits the ground hard. And now he's barely conscious. Jack walks up to him and says, "Oh no, did I kill him? I wasn't supposed to kill him." But when he picks him up, he sighs in relief, saying, "Oh good, he's still alive. That means I did my job right." Then the scene shifts again. and we see that little girl getting ready to fight the main boss of all these knights. We see Najuna. She talks to the elf in front of her and says, "So, what's up? How are you doing?" "My name is Najuna, and I'm here to fight you." However, the guy doesn't respond to her at all. Najuna gets annoyed and says that she really hates it when someone ignores her. Even then, the guy stays silent. Finally, he speaks and says that he heard what she said and also heard that she came here to fight him. Najuna confidently replies yes, and says she feels like he is the strongest warrior here, so she tells him not to disappoint her and asks him to start the fight. The guy carefully observes Najuna and thinks to himself that she looks like a very skilled fighter. Even her appearance suggests that the master she serves must be extremely powerful, but he also thinks that it doesn't really matter because no one in front of him can win, and there are very few who could actually defeat him. He then tells her to begin. Najuna also gets fully ready to fight and says they should start. As soon as she says that, she swings her sword from a distance. Just from the pressure created by the swing, the air itself slices into the man's chest, leaving a deep cut and causing him to bleed heavily. The tower wall behind him completely shatters. Najuna asks, "What happened?" and the guy collapses on the spot. Seeing this, Najuna gets confused and says that she barely did anything and that he shouldn't be losing this easily. She tries to lift him up, but the guy is already rolling lifelessly on the ground. Suddenly, a voice comes from above, shouting at Najuna, asking what she has done and why she destroyed everything. The voice complains about how much effort and mana it takes to rebuild that wall, and asks if she even understands how much mana was wasted. Najuna gets scared and immediately apologizes, saying she didn't do it on purpose. She says she only attacked him, and he should have dodged it. She never expected him to be this weak. At this point, she is basically mocking him. She apologizes to Ellie and promises to be more careful next time. While people are talking, Najuna notices something shocking. The man starts healing himself. After fully healing, he stands back up. Najuna smiles and says she's glad to see that he's still alive, because now they can finally have a proper fight. She tells him to get up quickly so they can start again. Ellie warns Najuna that if she causes any more destruction this time, she will report her. Najuna reassures her, saying not to worry, that she will fight carefully, control her power, and avoid causing any damage, and we see the elf creating a sword using magic. He explains that this is not a normal sword. If Najuna attacks him, the sword will absorb her power and turn it against her. He then silently activates a spell, creating a room just like before. Inside this space, nothing else can be sensed. He prepares himself to attack Najuna. At the same time, we see Najuna put her sword away. She decides to fight without a sword this time to avoid causing too much damage. As the man slowly approaches her, Najuna starts sweating. He confidently thinks that every time he uses this attack, his opponent gets terrified and loses control, and he believes himself to be extremely strong. But in the blink of an eye, Najuna suddenly appears right in front of him and punches him hard in the face. He goes flying straight into the tower wall again, creating even more cracks. Once again, a furious voice yells at Najuna, asking why she keeps destroying the wall and calling her an idiot for not understanding. Najuna quickly says she didn't do it on purpose and asks them to look carefully, claiming she didn't actually break the wall this time. Ellie replies that damage isn't only about breaking it completely, and that the cracks still count, meaning she will have to repair it again. Najuna immediately starts apologizing to Ellie. Ellie tells her to forget about it and instead pick up the idiot lying behind her and bring him over. Ellie apologizes to him for everything that just happened. Light calmly says it's fine, explaining that Najuna is just like that and this kind of thing is normal. Then Light says that the time he has been waiting for has finally arrived. He tells both girls to get ready because the moment they were waiting for is finally here. Meanwhile, on the other side of the gate, we see Sasa and her fiancé. He tells her that this place must be where the tower boss is located and assures her not to be afraid because he is there to protect her. Sasa praises him, saying he is really kind. Suddenly, the gate opens by itself. Everyone is confused about how the door opened on its own, but they decide to go inside anyway. As they enter, the door then closes behind them, and Sasa says she feels like she has seen this boy somewhere before. She suddenly remembers seeing him before, wearing a mask with his face completely burned. Light greets her, saying it has been a long time since they last met. Her fiancé asks if she knows him, and Sasa denies it, saying she only met him briefly in town a few days ago. She then asks how he even knows her name. Light responds playfully, asking how she could forget him so easily when she used to love cuddling him so much. After saying this, Light finally removes his mask. Seeing his face, Sasa is completely shocked. She says it's impossible and asks how